Yeah.
All right. Greetings, cyber citizens. Cali Joe comes with our social justice networking with advocates and influencers to bring change and direction. This is meant to be fun and interactive by being part of the solution amid the chaos and problems. I am blessed and provided for by being previously sad because I had um, performed my final Women's History Month podcast, but I stepped out in faith and was granted enough for one more Women's History Month podcast. However, the following day tragedy struck in Nashville, and I had to change direction, truncating the podcast on Diana Taurasi, Kesha, and other women of worth noting for Women's History Month. And I also have to admit, probably pronouncing the name of Emily Rakowski. The J is silent. So the High Low with Emrata is a good podcast, and I would highly recommend that. Though public safety networking of social justice is bigger than promoting Taurasi in the WNBA. Don't worry, come May, our podcast will focus on Taurasi for Mother's Day because you know what else begins in May? Yep, Cali Joe loves the WNBA. The ladies are moms too, after all. And since mine passed away January 2022, I can celebrate them in their Mama's Day. Cyber citizen, are you ready? And as I always say, are you listening? To salvage Women's History Month in part, we can focus on the women who can bring change. The situation of mass violence has impacted our sociological psychology. Presently, the means evolution was about originally guns. It morphed, growing into now it's about mental health. Our podcast today is about the root cause. However, we have celebrity influence living and working in the city of Nashville. Already, Christian singer Lauren Daigle to Melissa Joan Hart, who's also had experience with Sandy Hook, was also instrumental in protecting the children during the shooting. We have enough influencers to reach out, but our outreach and support will be different because we have enough memorializing and people discussing it. Let's have effective complaining where we will go to present a solution, an idea. Together we can, as citizens, do our part to help. Let's be problem solvers because we don't have enough of them. First, because the situation involves a transgender shooting at a Christian elementary school, we must address the issue as a community. We must turn to Monica Lewinsky of the Bystander Revolution, the anti-bullying of the LGBTQ community. Let's support and encourage her by networking with her, going to her to help her overcome her past so she does not have to worry about the emotional trauma that comes with cyberbullies. But let's also bring together both the LGBTQ and Christian community. Recently, a rift was created between influencer JoJo Siwa and Candace Cameron Bure. We need to heal this rift and allow them to stand in one accord through Monica Lewinsky or others. The question we must ask Candace Cameron Bure in her faith, I placed her in her nation at birth. And as the Bible has instructed to obey the law and leaders, the question is, as the laws currently exist, as they are written, not as we would like them to be, does the LGBTQ plus community have the right to exist? If we are called to reach any kind of sinner, doesn't any kind of sinner also refer to Christian sinners as well, who willfully sin or incidentally sin? If immorality is in question, and we deem the LGBTQ plus to be under that banner, doesn't bashing, discriminating, and denying the LGBTQ plus hinder your chance and opportunity to lead a person to the Lord? Does hindering a person from the Lord diminish your duty to be a servant And wouldn't that also make a person ineffective as a Christian? This illustration is not meant to be harmful to Candace. And to Joe Siwa, I can say, does Candace have a right to exist in her faith and embrace her beliefs in her small community? Doesn't Candace also have the right to embrace and practice her beliefs openly as long as she does it responsibly? She only wanted to work for a film and television company to promote her way of life to help others of her community. Never did she say the story content would demonize the LGBTQ plus community, nor did she advocate that she was going to even pick on or discriminate against the LGBTQ plus people. As for company hiring practices, never did she say she would prevent the LGBTQ plus community from working, for that would actually be a discriminatory and illegal practice. Jojo, did you know that the Bible only mentions same-sex relations 6 times? Count how many times it speaks of honoring your mother and father. Today, I told my 21-year-old daughter, a member of the LGBTQ community, that in her life, she has never known nonviolence. And for the first time, I felt like an old fart because I told her in my youth we never had school shootings. Jojo, stand in unity with Candace Cameron. And I will also say with Monica Lewinsky, and be in one accord, speaking to our leaders. Next, let's turn to conversations with our gun rights advocates in Congress. Congresswoman Lauren Boebert of Colorado and Ted Cruz of Texas. Cyber citizens, we must advocate for peace and respect with towards our leaders, and absolutely pray for nonviolence. There should be no cause for going to their homes or assaulting or harassing them while they're out eating. You can have an adult conversation in an adult way. But we must be in one accord on tangible solutions to improve society by discovering the root cause of the mass violence epidemic, of mental health and moral decay and desperation. We must invite the NRA and gun manufacturers to the table to push to determine if the root cause to mental health and moral decay and desperation, how much funding, testing, and research has been done to determine if pesticides and growth hormones have impacted our food and water to the point of such defect by birth and in what we are putting into our bodies. We are living in an era beyond the mass violence epidemic. Our sociological psychology, or as President Biden calls it, the soul of our nation, human infrastructure, is in danger. Ladies, let our mantra turn from, are you listening, to whose business is it if one person kills another? My answer to you is simply on that, ladies and gentlemen, it is everybody's. And I reach out to the women who I know can effectuate the best change, that women of color, and that is African American, Asian, Latin American, can be the voice in the calm in the storm. And I truly believe our influencers can reach out to such women such as the Hilo with Emily Ratajkowski, and others similar to her, that she can speak up and on behalf of what's necessary, because we have leaders now who are creating laws that might be unsettling to some. And I say to Candace Cameron Bure, Jojo Siwa, and Monica Lewinsky and others like them that are similarly situated, that we must advocate for the other group. Jojo, speak up for the Christians, and Candace, speak up for the LGBTQ plus community. We should not let humans bring harm to any individual. And we must not allow attaching titles to the cause of misery of a community. We cannot say anything other than the strategy was executed by a human being who, in their desperation, felt it was necessary to do such a wicked thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the nation that we live in right now, and we must repair our nation. And we must do it as citizens are meant to do. Let's remember John F. Kennedy in his statement. Let's Ask not what our country can do for us, but what we do for our country. And therefore, on that note, I hand it over to the social influencers, the cyber citizens, and others who are willing to actually reach out to people they know to let them hear this podcast, to give the ideas of what the solutions can be. And there are other solutions, such as asking and inquiring of non-lethal ammunition. Look at how they used to hunt before the use of guns, bow and arrows, spears, and other forms of traps. What right under the Second Amendment does a citizen have to lethal ammunition? I say that we should not take the rights of gun owners away from them, but it's an honest question of, does the Constitution actually give a citizen a right to lethal ammunition? In an era when the laws change and development changes and technology changes, and we are in position to actually create new business with companies that devote to non-lethal ways of presenting anything that would be good for hunting. And to strike the stuttering edges dead, I will say that I am out of words and I am out of time. But on that note, I will say we have to have and be able to make fun of ourselves and take life seriously. As for me and my house, we shall do our part to pray for the change to come. And to those who are listening, are you listening? And may you actually reach out to your favorite influencer. And may those influencers actually create that change. So, may tomorrow bring a better day for us all.